We get a lot of comments on our social media channels, and of late I've noticed a pattern emerging. Check this out. Raja Rajput 069 says, "Why do you always show the top end variants of each car? What about the middle variants?" Jintu Naughty Boy says, "What do the other variants of the Nexon look like? Your reviews are useless if you do not show the lower models." We hear you, and to address your concerns, we are here with the Tata Nexon in the Pure S variant. Now at 10.30 lakhs, this sits somewhere in the middle of the Nexon range. And we all know that the Nexon is a pretty great car. We did a mega compact SUV comparo and the Nexon came out on top. But that was the top end variant. What about the middle variants? That's the one that most people will buy. And that's exactly what we're here to discuss. We'll tell you what you get, what you don't get, and whether or not the Nexon is still a great buy in one of the mid-spec variants. Before we begin though, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification icon to stay notified. There was a time when vehicles typically had three variants: base, mid and top. However, customers wanted more options and Tata Motors responded. Nowadays, most cars come in a range of variants, offering customers a wider choice of features, powertrains and crucially pricing that fits their budget and needs. But with so many choices, how do you pick the right variant? I would start by making a list. On one side I would put things that are absolute must-haves, and on the other side I would put things that would be nice to have but things that I could live without. In the must-haves category, I'd prioritize safety features. That's not something you want to compromise on. Creature comforts like an infotainment system with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are essential as well. I also wouldn't want to compromise on performance, so a turbo petrol engine with a 6-speed gearbox is a must for me. On the nice to have list, I'd include features like cruise control, automatic headlamps, rain sensing wipers and perhaps even a sunroof. Based on this list, I would look for a variant which has all the features on the must have list and at least half the features on the nice to have list. And on the Tata Nexon, that leads me to the Pure S variant. I'd also pay attention to how the car looks in the variant that you choose. After all, you don't want your car to be looking completely bargain basement. And that's the great thing about the Nexon, it still looks great in the mid-spec variants. This Pure S persona has an LED DRL, LED headlamps, and even this black upper grille is exactly the same that you get in the top spec variants. Now on the side there are a couple of things. You do not get alloy wheels. But crucially, these 16-inch steel wheels are the same size as the alloy wheels that you get on top spec variants. And finally, at the back, you get an integrated boot lid spoiler and this connected LED tail lamp which has become a Nexon signature. So overall, with the Pure persona, you still get a really handsome looking Nexon. Special mention goes to the Pure Grey paint scheme, available exclusively on the Pure persona. It matches the vibe perfectly, sophisticated and minimalistic. Inside, the Pure S is not quite as plush as some of the top end variants, but don't let that put you off because you still get all the essentials that you actually need. For instance, you get this 7-inch infotainment system with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is an absolute must-have. You also get all the essential safety features like 6 airbags, ABS with EBD, ESC, traction control and even hill assist. Not to mention the fact that this is a 5-star GNCAP rated car. The Pure S also ticks a lot of boxes on the nice to have list. You get a 4-inch digital instrument cluster, a 2-spoke steering wheel with backlit Tata logo and steering mounted controls. The upholstery is fabric, but it's really high quality fabric. You get manual AC, but instead of cheap rotary dials, the controls are housed in a neat gloss black panel. You also have auto headlamps, rain sensing wipers and even a voice operated sunroof. So overall the interior is pretty nice. There are a couple of things which I would have liked, like ventilated seats and keyless entry, but at the same time there are things that you don't really realize you need, like this drive mode selector right here. Speaking of which, I think it's time to put it in sport mode and go for a drive. The Pure variant is available with either a 1.2-litre turbo petrol producing 118 bhp and 170 Newton meters, or a 1.5-litre turbo diesel delivering 113 bhp and 260 Newton meters. Both engines can be mated to a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed AMT. If you drive a lot, say 40,000 to 50,000 kilometers a year, the diesel option, which costs around 1.3 lakhs more, is the better choice. For city driving, the AMT, costing 70,000 more, is a convenient option. I'm driving the 1.2-litre petrol with the 6-speed manual gearbox. It's the same engine and gearbox combination that you get on the new Altroz Racer. And in this, its original application, it's actually very grunty. Even on these winding roads, if I just leave it in third, it's happy enough to pull me out of corners quite smartly. And speaking of corners, the 195 section tires provide a good amount of grip. More than you would actually expect. Maybe not as much as the 215 section tires that you get on the higher variants, but still it doesn't really feel like it's lacking. Now, a lot of you might be more interested in the ride quality of the Nexon, and on that front, regardless of which variant you get, the Nexon scores really highly. The suspension does a fabulous job of soaking up the bumps, and even in the back seat, you do not get tossed around when you're going over bad roads. So it looks like the Nexon is still a very competitive package in the Pure S trim. It's a good mix of all the essential features and a bunch of niceties thrown in for good measure. But before we conclude, let's take a look at the competition. The Nexon Pure S costs between Rs 10.3 and 12.3 lakhs depending on the engine and gearbox you choose. I want an apples to apples comparison, so let's stick to the petrol manual versions of all cars. The closest competition is the Mahindra XUV3X0 MX3 Pro, which costs Rs 31,000 less. But it misses out on a few features like a voice operated sunroof, automatic headlamps, rain sensing wipers, a digital instrument cluster, and to our eyes the Nexon is better to look at. The Maruti Suzuki Brezza VXI costs around 60,000 less, but it is down on power, 17 bhp and 33 Newton meters less than the Nexon. It also comes with just 2 airbags. For 6 airbags, you will have to get the ZXi Plus, and that costs Rs 2.28 lakhs more than the Nexon. A similarly equipped Kia Sonet HTK Plus costs around Rs 18,000 less, but its 1.2-litre NatAsp engine is no match for the Nexon. If you want the turbo, then it will cost Rs 42,000 more than the Nexon, and the Nexon's backseat is a lot roomier than the Sonet's. The Tata Nexon has always been great value for money, but things just got even more exciting. As part of their Festival of Cars offer, Tata Motors has slashed prices by up to Rs 80,000 on select Nexon variants. That means the Nexon now starts at just Rs 7.99 lakh, making it an incredible deal. On top of that, there are additional benefits worth up to Rs 25,000. But these festive offers are only available until the 31st of October 2024. Whether you're after the petrol, diesel, EV or even the new iCNG option, there is a Nexon for everyone. With over 7 lakhs units sold in the last 7 years and a track record as India's #1 SUV for 3 years in a row, the Nexon continues to prove its unbeatable value and popularity. So, in conclusion, if you're looking to spend about 10 to 12 lakhs on a compact SUV, then the Nexon in pure trim is worth serious consideration. It packs in a lot of features in a good looking package, and it doesn't let you feel short-changed. And now, with benefits of up to Rs 1 lakh, this might just be the perfect time to get yourself the Nexon you've always wanted. As always, do let us know what you think about this video in the comments below. Should we be covering more mid-spec variants? And thank you for watching.